Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball. It's episode number 19. Let me get this thing real quick out of the way first. Uh, this is one of the things I hate the most about what I do, and that is when things don't go according to plan and I have to go back in and redo them. As in, I recorded this episode and my voiceover commentary work had no effect. It wasn't there. There was a problem with the microphone, and I'm having to re-record the voiceover portion of this video, which the one good thing to that one is I can actually speed certain aspects of it up, go a little bit faster through an episode. Either way, this is still going to be a fairly long one. Let's go ahead and get into it, though. This is the playoffs. Yes, after all those surprises, we finished the season number 1, and we have made it to the playoffs. The most important thing is we are gaining promotion, but we are going to enter game number 1 of our series against Richmond. Richmond, a wild card team who pulled the upset in the first round, and we, with, Brick House, starting this first game. We're going to take things fairly quickly, one half inning at a time here initially, but we do want to at least follow the games. Now, I'm not managing the teams directly. I am leaving that to the AI manager. But in the top of the second, we are going to give up a solo shot that is going to give Richmond the lead. It's 1-0 in this one. We did manage to get a couple runners on base in the bottom of the first, but could not score. We get another hit in the bottom of the second, so there's positive signs. We've had multiple runners on base. We do trail here in the early stages of this first game of the best of 5 series. I do apologize that I'm going to be looking away a lot more than normal. My monitor that gameplay is on is tied to the to my camera that I'm using, while my secondary monitor is where all the recording software is, and it's also where my playback is happening right now, so it does have me looking away a lot more than normal, but at least we do have that connection of words match as opposed to seeing the original face cam. But anyway, top of the fourth, 3-run inning, huge deficit that it's going to put us under at the midway point of this game. We're going to go ahead and play out the bottom of the 6th live, as this is the pivotal stage. We trail by 4 runs here in the first game, and a pop out there leads to the first out. It is the core of our lineup. We are going to get a 4-pitch walk here. That's going to help our situation a little bit. We get a runner on base finally, and it's LeBoy at the plate, our strong batter. He's going to hit one hard to deep center, but it's a fairly easy catch, fairly routine, and now with 2 outs, the middle of the lineup is just not getting the job done. Easy ground out there, and we end the 6th still scoreless. We have managed 5 hits, we've had multiple walks, and we have a pitching lineup that is fairly even, fairly balanced. And realistically, I mean, with 40-45 for his stuff and movement, he's got good control. He's not walking too many guys. He's only walked 1 in the first inning. But we are just not getting the job done against him. We hit one deep there. Deep right center. And they still make the easy out. Bottom of the 7th, by the way. 1 out. And we're running out of opportunities, trailing 4-0. Really struggling here in game number 1 of this series. Still on the mound for them, Barria, even though he's not that good of a pitcher, according to our scouts, he is actually number 1 in the league in ERA this season. But we're going to open up the bottom of the 7th here, second batter anyway, with a double. We did have to slide in on it, but that's Luke Williams at second. He does have pretty good speed. Terzi at the plate, not the greatest contact. Pitcher is tired. Barria, can we shake him? Can we get him out of there? He has had a very good season despite not really having, the greatest set of attributes. But I'm getting really nervous. We've got him fatigued. Maybe now's the time. If we can get a run or 2 here in the 7th, it could build momentum. It may not be enough to get us back level, but it can build some momentum and keep us in this game. Yerzy draws the walk. It was not intentional. That was a 5-pitch walk, so they did try to pitch to him. But a good eye. He's going to get on to first base. we're still in this thing, 2 runners on. Now that does set up the potential double play situation for them, but honestly, I'd still rather have the extra runner on base than not, because one swing of the bat could make it 3. But at the plate, number 9 hitter Kyle Holder. And Holder just a 40-40. This is where if I had control, I'd be pinch hitting in an instant. We have a couple guys on the bench that are better options at the plate, and instead we hit right into the double play. End the inning, kill the rally, and we're really in trouble now. Top of the 8th, first batter goes deep into the bullpen, and it's 5-0. Skipping forward to the end of the game, it was too little too late. We could get runners on base most every inning, but we just could not do enough, and we lose 5-0. So game 2, I'm going to quickly go into this one. For us, we have a much more favorable pitching matchup in game 2, and we get 7 runs on the board, batting all the way around in the first inning. Early lead in this one, and it's a lead that they're not going to give up. We're going to hang on to this one, pushing straight on through. 8-1, 8-3, 11-4 in the end on this one. Comfortable game 2 victory draws us level, but now we're going to have to head on the road. That game, it was Yerzy who stepped up in a big way in this one with 2 home runs, 4 RBI in the game. And game 3 is now underway on the road at Richmond, tied a game apiece in this series, and this should be our time. We have our number 1 pick in the draft this season, Ramsey David, who has been fantastic. 3.0 ERA, a low whip against a pitcher who has pitched well above expectation, but is nowhere near on par with what we have. He is nowhere near the quality of Ramsey David. He has had a similar whip, but his ERA is much higher. His quality is nowhere near, but they're going to get a 1-run solo shot in the first that gives them an early lead in this one, and we're going to end up in a pitcher's duel here. As we get through 2.5 innings, it's still 1-0. We've only managed a couple hits. They're getting some hits, but Ramsey David is keeping them at bay. It's still 1-0 after 3. Part of the lineup in the top of the 4th, and it's enough to draw level. Solo shot. I think it was McCormick who did that one, and it makes it a 1-1 game. Game on, and of course with the pitching advantage, you would favor us as we continue to go forward. But of course we are on the road. You know, nothing guaranteed there. But through 5 innings, it's still just a 1-1 ball game. Low scoring affair after the high scoring second game, and somewhat high scoring first game. And here in the top of the 6th, we're gonna beat that one out to put ourselves in a much better position. We get the lead runner on. It's somebody with a decent amount of space in Willie LeBoy. He's got a 60-65 here. So good tempo. Let's see what we can do here under these circumstances. Can we get ourselves back into this one? No. Drive it hard down the line, but the first baseman is going to settle for the easy out, touch the bag, and then try to get the lead runner. But it's too late, so we do at least advance runner, 1 out, runner in scoring position. What can we do here? That's going to be a hit, but boy hesitates. He hesitates thinking that maybe that ball's going to get caught by the first baseman. I'm not sure why he hesitates, but that's probably why. And so we only advance to the corner. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Great opportunity here to grab ourselves a lead. It's Luke Williams at the plate. Decent batter, decent season that he's had against just a decent pitcher. But he's going to ground that right up the middle. Double play. Inning over. And then they answer back with a second solo shot in the bottom of the sixth. So we get ourselves in perfect position, and not only do we fail to capitalize, but then we give up the go-ahead run and trail 2-1. Only 6 hits is all they've managed through 7 innings. We've done so well, and yet trail. Really frustrating stuff. Top of the 8th now. Easy first out, ground ball right at the shortstop. 1 out. Another ground ball. Third baseman this time doing better, and he makes the easy out to first. And we're beating it out this time with Rayleigh at the plate. That's gonna drop. Center fielder taking the safe approach, not going for the easy out on this occasion, and he's going to take the one hopper and hold Rayleigh at first base. McCormick at the plate again. He's already got a home run in this game. Can he make it 2? This would be enough for the lead. He's going to strike out on this occasion, and that ends the inning. We're down to just 3 outs in a game that our pitcher has done what is necessary. He's essentially dominated. Top of the 9th, Williams, ground out. Routine play. On the 2 outs. This is a very important game here because honestly we have to score. We have to. We lose both games on the road. It's over. That looking good. It will drop. Okay, we're in business here. We've out-hit them in this game despite being behind. We have been the better team, and we should be the better team anyway. This one, slicing to left. Oh, what a catch! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was massive diving play from the left fielder. That would have scored a run for sure. He missed that diving catch. High rating 70, so really good left fielder there. Makes a massive play. And that is why defense is important. Because if he doesn't reach that one, if he's got a 65, because here's a hit, and this is going to advance us to third, we'd be ahead right now. We would be ahead. Because on that previous one, if he doesn't make it, it's a stand-up double. And it would have tied the game, and then with a runner on second, that single, that would have been enough. We would be up 3-2 right now with that massive diving catch. Either way, though, we're still in business. Runners on the corners. 2 out, though. 2 out. What can we do? It's Ahmed Hudson, second baseman, shortstop. The second baseman for us. He's got fantastic contact. What can he do? This guy can hit at a major league level. Here, a little dribbler to second base. And that does it. That's game. Wow. We should be heading to the bottom of the 9th with a 1-run lead. Bringing our closer out there. And that's it. That's it. We are going to go down. We lose comfortably in the next game, and we're out. We are out. Season is done. After losing 3 games to 1, the next one was not close. And here is what we're looking at for the series. It's the Crunch. Manchester Crunch win 4-2 over the Irving Keystones. After we lost 3-1, they lost in 7. They led 3-2, by the way, over the Irving Keystones in the League Championship Series, but they go down. At the championship level, it's going to be Santa Ana Colts who win 4-2. Path here, Tucson going through. It was the Arizona Diamondbacks who get the first round bye but lose 3-0 to Matanzas. Matanzas then sweeping the Portland Weirdos to make it to the Championship World Series, but they lose 4-2 to Santa Ana. In the standings, it is the Arizona Diamondbacks, the one team that missed out last season on yo-yoing from the major leagues. Remember, there was 4 teams that went down at the end of the first season. We had 3 of those instantly regained promotion. The Diamondbacks were the only ones who did not. And this season, the Diamondbacks bounce back with the best record. So they will be heading back up to the major leagues. Now, at the moment, that means there are 0 major league teams down in the second tier. But of course, there's only 1 team remaining from the second tier up there, which means there will be at minimum 3 teams coming down. So we'll see who that is. But it looks like we are most likely headed to the Patriot West, you would think, based on the relegation there. Portland Weirdos also the other team going up. Nashville Sound are going up, and the Santa Ana Colts are going up. So they are vacating the league, and that's the league we're going to be playing in next season. It is going to be a pretty big step up for us. We'll see, is it a step too much? I want to say that there was 1 team relegated that was third tier last year that had been promoted. I want to say that one of them is being relegated, but it looks like 3 out of 4 are staying. I think it's Panama City who was one of those teams that came up as they were one of the international division teams, right, in season 1, or at least season 2. So it looks like it's a little easier to stay in the second tier than it is to stay in the first tier. There's a bit of a jump between tier 1 and tier 2, where tier 2 and 3 seem to be a little bit closer. Meanwhile, in the major leagues, Toronto with the best record in the AL East, Boston, Tampa, New York with a poor season for them by their standards, but they are not going to face relegation. It's Colorado Rockies playing the AL East after yo-yoing. Cleveland Guardians on top. You had Houston Astros on top. And then it's going to be Oakland and then Detroit. So the Detroit, not Tigers, but the Wave Riders, who were the team from the second tier, who were up there, they are going straight back down. So that means we are going to have 3 major league teams with us in the second tier. Oakland, one of them. Now, meanwhile, in the National League, Atlanta on top, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, Miami facing relegation. So there's your 3rd team going down. St. Louis, Chicago, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati is the other team that is facing relegation. San Diego, Los Angeles, both making the playoffs. San Francisco, Baltimore, and the Texas Rangers in the National League West after their yo-yo. On to the Major League playoffs. LA losing 2-1 to Boston. Tampa 2-0 over Cleveland. You had Boston 3-1 over Toronto, and then Tampa 3-2 over Houston. Boston making the World Series after going up 4-2, or going on after winning 4-2. Meanwhile, in the National League, it was 2-0, LA over New York. It was St. Louis 2-0 over San Francisco in the wild card. The division series was San Diego Padres beating the Dodgers 3-1. Good on them. And the Braves going 3-0 over the Cardinals. And then in the championship series, it was Atlanta moving on in 6 over San Diego. And then finally, the World Series, a 7-game thriller. It is Boston beating out the Atlanta Braves. So there is your World Series champion, the Boston Red Sox. Final evaluation of our team. It was a really good season, in particular considering what happened in seasons 1 and 2, right? We were awful to begin with. We totally went into massive rebuild mode, and year 2 essentially was a better team, but it was still the worst team out there. But we had totally filled out that minor league roster, which we then, to an extent, gutted entering season 3 to make the major league roster better. And it paid off because we ended up with the best record in the league. Now, yes, it's disappointing we didn't get the icing on the cake, that we didn't get far in the playoffs, but that's not what's important at the major league level. That's obviously what's important. That's all that's important, because there's no promotion. So having the best regular season record means nothing. It's all about the playoffs. But in the bottom tiers, it's about moving up. It's about getting to the higher tiers. So the playoffs are very secondary, not a big deal. We had a good season. We got promotion. We made the team better, but we did gut our minor league system a bit. So I think short term, we need to address that. None of our top 3 tiers had 500 records in the minor leagues, with so few players and a lot of good players gone, used in trades to make that major league roster better. Our short A season team was awful, and that was our dumping ground. We only had a handful of players that were decent there. The rest were the remaining players that weren't any good. But our rookie team was the only good team that we had in the minor league system this season, and that was all draftees. I mean, the entire team, other than about 2 players, were draftees. So that group was good, and we continue to make use of that draft. But we're going to be moving up now to a higher tier, and we had a good record. That means we're going to be drafting somewhere around 60th this coming season. So that's not going to come with the advantage. We're not going to get that first rounder solid player like we did last time. We're going to be drafting something like a second rounder in the first rounder comparatively, as we'll be closer to that end of the draft than we were to the front end. That being said, I'm still fairly satisfied with how this season went. All in all, it was a successful run, especially considering we went from last place to first place. Goal next season, though, we're going to have to make some upgrades, but not a ton. I think this Major League roster is going to be good enough to not be bottom 4. But I do think the bottom 3 in our lineup, Williams, Yerzy, Holder, not good enough for the next level. They struggled enough at this level. The other 6, I think, if you can fill them out with 2 or 3 core middle lineup guys, the other 6 can hang at the next level. Pitching lineup, same sort of thing. We need some upgrades. 2 or 3 guys are going to be good enough. A couple of them probably not. So we're going to want to trade up a bit. We're going to want to gut that minor league roster a little bit more to make some upgrades. But the good news is we're now going to have access to the major league waiver wire. And that waiver wire is going to help us out a lot in this next season. At least I think, as it did in the previous seasons, right? This season we had no help from the waiver wire as things have really settled down. But there was plenty of major league talent that would have made us better on the waiver wire. We just didn't have access to it. It was the championship that did, and that's where we're going to be next season. So I think that is going to give us a lot of opportunities to start adding pieces in for free and flipping those pieces for more talent to keep us afloat. Main thing is I want to avoid relegation next season, and then I would love to retool our minor league system so that we do have pieces in place to make another run at promotion down the road in a season or 2. For now, stability is what we need. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.